Hello, I'm Ala Said, a software developer, and this is an introduction about RESTful routes. So RESTful routes are mainly a way to map between your HTTP verbs and the CRUD operation you can perform on your resources. So putting this in mind, we need to review what CRUD operations are and what HTTP verbs are. So firstly, CRUD operations, they stand for create, read, update, and delete, which are the operations you can do to the resources in your backends. You either create a new resource, update an existing resource, or read existing resources, or for sure, delete an existing resource. HTTP verbs are the way your front end talks to your back end, and the most used HTTP verbs are get, which is mapped to the read operation, post, which is mapped to create operation, put and batch, which are mapped to update operation, and delete, which is mapped to delete operation. So RESTful routes use the same route for different HTTP verbs to perform different operations, and it provides some how standard way of writing your URLs. So here's an example where you have a books website to view your books with titles, authors, or whatever attributes you need. So hitting the index action, which is your home website, at your base URL slash books will view all the books in the database either with pagination, so you view 10 entries or whatever from your from your back end and the number of pages, and the front end will perform the pagination after, or you just browse all the books and the front end will handle its pagination. It's always better to perform the pagination on the back end side, but this is out of topic. Anyway, having a new button which you can press will perform another get request to slash books slash new. So after submitting the form for the new book, you will hit the same URL, which is slash books that you used to get the books, but with another verb, which is post, which in return will create another book inside your database. The same concept for hitting a specific book with slash book slash ID. Hitting an edit button will get a request for a form to submit, which after submitting will either put or patch a book with a specific ID. Hitting a delete button after getting a book slash ID will hit the same URL book slash ID but with a delete request. So this is the idea mainly about the RESTful routes. It makes a map between the HTTP verbs that you can do to your front end to talk to your back end with your CRUD operations. Finally, this is an example here. When you hit the slash books with the method get, you should browse your database for books and return them to your front end. On the other hand, when you hit the same URL with the method post, you should firstly check if the book in your database is there. If not, you add a new book and you return your status. So this is an introduction about RESTful routes. Hope it clarified things out, and thank you a lot for listening.